Donk Nation, Jackson, Janet's greetings and welcome to your Daily Dose of Donkey with Ginger. It's your boy, the Viking Donkey, bringing you some Steelers talk. We got the dub, dominated the Dolphins. Was it 28-15? Them little Dolphins, them fishies don't like swimming in the cold. Gingy, Laskers, take it away.
Mutant Gingy in the house. Holy smokes, what a performance on Monday night. 15-28 is exactly right, Donkey. Closer score than what the game ultimately, I think, went to be. Steelers were in control all the way. Pretty performance on offense, minimizing mistakes, and the defense. Splash plays. That's how the Steelers live and breathe. That's how they get dubs. What do you think, Laskers?
Laskers, there's a fun stat I want to bring it over to you on. Didn't bring it up last week because I didn't want to jinx it. But 23 straight Monday Night Football wins at home for Pittsburgh, and Mike Tomlin 12-0 at home. Man, maybe that's the betting line I should start going on.
I think it is a bet line that we all need to go on. That's an awesome stat, and hey, maybe we should play all our games on Monday night. I know the NFL won't let that happen, but
only home games. Full disclosure.
Well, we'll just go home games. 16 home games.
I think
we'll play one road
back
game.
To Chuck Noll, Laskers. I think it dates back to him.
It probably does, but we'll play one road game. We'll play 16 home games and one road game on Monday nights, and then we'll go from there. Except for I don't think the NFL is going to like that one.
Gingy, before we break down the Steelers and the Dolphins, I got to ask you, watching the dynasty that's been the last decade end with their quarterback getting hurt on the final drive, just it kind of seemed like the way it was, like this season was meant to be the end of that dynasty there in Kansas City, and the injury might prolong the rebuild to get Mahomes back to the top. Any thoughts on, someone new coming out of the West?
Wow, yeah, it really opens up the AFC for the first time in a while, right? Without Kansas City being super competitive at the top, it really feels like a more open playoff hunt for everybody, in my opinion.
Now, Laskers, the team next to you, the Bills, come back. Josh Allen does what he needs to do in that second half. They beat the Patriots. They keep the potential of winning that division alive. Do you think the Bills can get back into that and be let's call it the 2 seed, because we'll say Denver keeps the 1 seed?
I think they have the real good opportunity for that, but it's hard to say. I mean, their schedule's pretty easy. I think they have the Eagles, and that's about their hardest team that they have to play left. And also, you guys just don't have any faith in Gardner Minshew?
Well, since they're already eliminated from the playoffs, no, I clearly don't.
Well, but he'll be the starter next year.
Maybe I don't think. Did he sign a 2-year contract? Maybe he did.
No, I think he only signed a 1-year contract. But
that's what I thought. That's why I wouldn't go into that. Yeah, those are some fun things. Gingy, the wild South. Can Phillip Rivers, old man Jello arm Phillip Rivers at this point, can he save the season and give the Colts back into that race with the Jaguars and the Texans?
He went out there and he proved legitimacy, right? I wouldn't say that he had the most stellar, overwhelming. Wasn't the most stellar, overwhelming performance, but still can read a defense.
I'll give you that. Like, his reads weren't terrible, but man.
I thought he looked pretty good for being 5 years out.
It is. I'm not going to argue that. But the thing is, dude, he reminds me of Duck Hodges, and everybody's going to just start sitting in cover 2 and say, throw it outside. We dare you because we're going to get there first. I've seen this happen before. I've seen these quarterbacks. The problem is I think they're going to adjust a lot quicker than with Duck Hodges when no one knew who Duck Hodges was, right? I cannot see Phillip Rivers saving this season unless sometime between now and next week he gains arm strength, which, by the way, when you put in perspective, he's only 2 years older than Aaron Rodgers. The fact that Aaron still has borderline top 15 arm strength in the NFL. Quite an impressive thing.
Well, that's exercising every day for certain.
Yeah, that's fair. Now let's get into...
Considering Philip had to go find cleats from his trophy case to play.
Man, I can't believe that. He was coaching a high school team. None of them kids had the same size foot as Philip Rivers. Come on, Philip. Try a little harder. That's all I got to say. I think Philip just wanted to make a story, man. I had to go find this. I had to go buy something out of this. It just sounds like Philip was making a story. Someone told him to make a story. It's just a little too picture perfect if you catch my drift, Gingy.
That's all right. He's telling fishing stories. He's gotten used to that.
He is that age. He also just got his family, 5 more years of health care for playing a game in the NFL? I think that's what he did. He just re-upped the health care with 11 kids or 9 kids, however many
10.
He has, man.
It's 10.
That's a healthy chunk of money he just saved himself right there, Gingy.
Absolutely.
Now let's get back to talking Steelers-Dolphins. First quarter, that was ugly. Both teams, nothing happening. The Dolphins actually running the ball well with Achane, but then deciding to throw it for no reason. Let's start, Gingy. Lollipop interception, second drive, I believe, to Asante Samuel Jr. Nice to see a Steeler corner make another play on the football. Another guy who wasn't on the team at the start of the year. But
welcome to Pittsburgh, Asante. Beautiful.
Yeah, for sure. But Gingy, what I want to talk about is early in that game, before it kind of got out of hand in the second and third quarter, it really looked like Miami had an advantage running the football, and they just didn't do it. It looked like they didn't want to play the cold weather style of football, Gingy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that is their style of football. They thought that they might have had something over top with Jalen Waddle, but again, Asante Samuel stepping in, had pretty good coverage.
2 for 26. That's all he had.
That's not going to be good for the Dolphins, right? They score big points over the top. Didn't have any big play runs. Fortunately, had consistency, but nothing major.
Achane was essentially
15 was the long.
Achane and the 2 tight ends were essentially the whole team. I think he led them in both rushing and receiving. But Laskers,
yes, he did.
The other play I want to talk about, I want to get your take on this one, was Jonnu Smith lining up as a running back. Okay, odd. Jonnu Smith getting the carry as a running back. Really odd. Jonnu Smith scoring a touchdown as a running back. Okay. I'm just at a loss. Don't forget Connor Hayward also scored on a tush-push play. So, tight ends, 2 rushing touchdowns. But specifically, Jonnu Smith, we want to embarrass the Dolphins for giving us this guy moment. Do you think that's what that was there, Laskers?
I think that was a Jonnu Smith thing. He's like, hey, give me the ball. Give me the rock, boys. I want to score. It was a 14-yard rush, Hey.
I'm all down for it on that. And, Gingy, before I get to the really fun stuff, and we can talk about the good, the bad, the ugly, and do that again, I want to talk about, 2 more sessions here. And the first one is, why the hell do the Steelers play 10-on-11 football when we do the goddamn tush-push? Seriously, Aaron Rodgers standing back there 12 yards with his damn discount double-check look. Why don't we just sub him off the field for a big body, I don't know, Cameron Hayward, who can help push the pile forward a little bit? Playing 10-on-11 football is going to bite them at some time, I have a bad feeling.
It's the art of deception, Donkey. We're setting up one later in the season that's going to burn them.
We already used one where we backdoored Gainwell for a big play. That was our last win, I think.
We got something in the back pocket with that one, Donkey. That's what I'm thinking.
I'll believe you on that. But, man, it drives me bananas watching us play 10-on-11 football. Mostly successful this week, so I'm not going to complain. I think it was 3 out of 4 times it got the job done. Then the one time it didn't, we got the job done the next play. Now, Laskers, the thing I want to talk about, and oh, my God, it made me so happy. The Steelers bookend touchdowns. End of the first half drive, not really end of the first half drive, but pretty much end of the first half drive, start of the second half drive, touchdowns. Yes, that's what good football teams do.
Yeah, that's definitely what good football teams need to do. I mean, hey, it's finally what where we should be. We've been watching this painful season. 8-6. It still hurts.
First place, baby. Let's go.
Yeah.
King of the North.
We'll see what happens the rest of the season, but hey, back-to-back touchdown drives.
I think it was like 3 or 4 straight in the game. Actually, that's kind of crazy.
Taking some time off the clock too. That's a big one.
I think it was a 3 and out our first drive, and then was it 4? It might have been 4 out of 5 we scored touchdowns, but it might have been 4 straight touchdowns, and then we tried to run the clock out, but we suck at running the clock out. Type of end of the game drives.
Pretty much.
Gingy, any plays you want to talk about before we get to the good, bad, great, ugly?
Complimentary football. Donkey, that's what I was thinking about when Laskers was talking there, right? When you're talking about stringing plays together, ending halves, starting halves, defense and offense working in tandem. And that's what happens when that lines up for the Steelers. That usually produces a good result.
For sure. Laskers, any plays you want to talk about specifically, or you want to get into the fun stuff?
I'm good with getting into the fun stuff.
All right, Laskers, let's start with you. Do you want good, bad, great, or ugly?
Let's go bad.
All right. The bad, Laskers, is the damn Steelers' first quarter offense. Once again, does nothing. I know it's only one drive, 3 and out. The second drive went into the second quarter, but that also was a punt, I believe. So both drives that had any amount of plays in the first quarter end with 0 points. I think those 2 drives combined 16 plays for 48 yards. Like that's bad, Laskers. That's bad. Take on that, and then what you think's bad.
The standard is the standard. That's my take on that. Last week was an offshoot. I don't even know what the right term is. It's not what we do. We don't score in the first quarter. Period.
We haven't scored 10 points in the first quarter since the game where Minkah Fitzpatrick had a pick 6 like 4 years ago. So are we ready to go on? Gingy, good, bad, hold on. Good, ugly, or great?
Give me the good.
The good is Kenneth Gainwell. Over 100 all-purpose yards, really breaking into something that I didn't like the signing in the offseason. I didn't think he was fast enough. Dude, this dude is fast enough. This dude is legit. And him and Jaylen Warren are really giving teams something to worry about because both of them create mismatches, and Gainwell has been the one who has been breaking out recently. Don't be surprised to see game plans starting to look to shut down Gainwell, which should open up Warren. But the emergence of Gainwell, to me, is the good, Gingy.
I couldn't agree more, Donkey. I was actually thinking about it in my head leading up to that question, and I hate to copy you, but that is also the good for me, is Kenneth Gainwell comes through all-purpose yardage, right? Threats on both sides. And that one that he broke, that big one, that run, that was a skilled run on his part.
Yeah.
Good vision, found a good speed, explosion, looked really solid. Compliment to Warren.
Yeah, without a doubt there. Laskers, that leaves you with the great or the ugly?
You know what? I'm going to let Gingy take the great, so I'll take the ugly.
All right, Laskers. The ugly is the Steelers' outside linebacker depth chart after the injury to TJ Watt and losing Nick Herbig. The depth chart really starting to get pushed thin in multiple positions, specifically on the defensive side of the ball, because I'll talk about the offense here in a second. But defensively, man, we're down to starting practice squad corners because James Pierre is also added to the injury list. We're losing outside linebackers. We're losing defensive ends. The absolute injury bug that keeps biting this defense is what's ugly to me after that game, Laskers.
Oh, I agree. And Pierre's out again this week, so, Herbig's doubtful. We got real issues with the injury bug. And I don't know how you fix that problem. Like, there's not much you can do.
Get a better trainer. Laskers, what was the ugly for you?
I really think it was Herbig going down. That's hurtful.
Yeah, without a doubt, that's a big one.
Granted, Watt getting hurt before the game is a big one too, and also a dumb one.
Stabbed by a trainer. Gingy, that leaves you with the great, and to me, the great was the step-up play of those backup players. I'm going to look at Asante Samuel Jr., who clearly is an NFL caliber starter, but is like fifth on the depth chart coming up with an interception. But maybe more importantly, and I know the Dolphins weren't really inspired, but more importantly is Dylan Cook, a fourth-string left tackle, goes out there and might have played the best game we've seen a Steelers left tackle play this whole season. That, to me, is what the grade is.
Ooh, that's a pretty good. I like that. That is great, Donkey. To me, I don't know. Maybe it's just my perception, right? But my great is the Steelers using the middle of the field.
Oh, thank God.
In the passing game. That is not only great in this game, which I saw it get used and utilized well, but that's great for the entire. That's good for the program. That's good for everybody in every game if the Steelers are able to do that more consistently.
I 10,000% agree. Seeing the tight ends up there, I mean, Freiermuth, Washington, both used over the middle was really great to see.
Yes, I was so excited, and it worked, and it made me feel really validated, Donkey. It made me feel great.
That's awesome. I was really expecting, Gingy, I thought you're two. These will be my complimentary shout-outs. We're going to be an old wide receiver finally catching a ball that mattered with Valdez-Scantling on the touchdown, right? And or the Steelers winning time of possession, Gingy. Time of possession.
The third quarter, Donkey, if you want to talk about my great runner-up, call the third quarter of that Dolphins game. Look at the
negative 20 yards.
The offensive production for the Steelers versus the offensive production for the Dolphins.
Dude, they went negative 20 yards.
That's great.
Yeah. For anyone who's curious, the Steelers drives did go punt, but then we end the half, touchdown, start the second half, touchdown, and then we had 2 3-and-outs when we tried to waste the clock because, well, apparently early in the game we suck at moving the ball. Late in the game we can't run the clock. But Laskers, that middle section of the game, these last, let's call it 3 weeks, because let's exclude Buffalo and call it 3 or 4 weeks, right? Because I think we have the Chicago loss in there if we do it that way. The Steelers in those middle quarters are really scoring points and doing it efficiently. It's really good to see.
Yes, we do have the Bears loss in that. And, that's what we need to do. I mean, we got to score in the middle of the game. But we need to be able to figure out how to run the clock out. That's a key football thing you have to know how to do.
The thing is, most football teams now don't try to just run the clock out. They'll throw the ball, but they'll do those guaranteed completion plays. I think the Steelers really need to start adapting that model, Gingy, because us just straight up running the football straight up doesn't work. When teams know it's coming, we can't be successful. But if we can trick them a little bit with a more pass-happy, guaranteed pass-happy approach, I think maybe that's the future to closing these games out in a more, what do we want to call it, a more dominating fashion.
You got to put something on tape that they got to be scared to scheme against or for, right?
You can't run the ball 3 straight downs.
Right, and you can't run the ball out of the same package every time, is what I'm looking at, too. A little bit of trickery, maybe coming out on a passing down in a passing formation and then running the ball, or vice versa, coming out on a first down and coming out maybe in a run formation and having a way that can be checked over to a pass, right? Just something to keep everybody on their toes.
Ginzy says trickeration, and all I see is these goddamn reverse to Jonnu Smith that never work. Maybe the trickeration should be Gingy. The new trickeration is Jonnu Smith is running back. Jonnu Smith is running back. Not reverses to him, just Jonnu Smith is running
No
back.
jet
We
sweeps.
spread out Jalen
No
Warren
reverses.
and Gainwell. Spread out
What about
Jalen Warren and
screens,
Gainwell.
Gingy?
No, maybe a screen in an appropriate moment, but
We can't fucking run a screen to save our lives.
Hey, we had a successful one last year. Okay.
I think we had one this year too.
The O is Pittsburgh Steelers fans when you talk about screen passes or reverses. It's like, dude, the last time we ran a successful reverse, Antoine Randall L was on the field.
That's been a long time.
That's a hurtful thing to say.
It's been a long time.
Oh, that's great. But I agree with you. They need to do something to mix it up. I would personally love to see the 3 tight end, 2 running back package where Jonnu Smith is the running back and the 2 wide receivers are Kenneth Gainwell and Jalen Warren, and just confuse the crap out of someone. They're like, what in the hell are these idiots doing? Like a triple reverse flea flicker to Aaron Rodgers down the left side, Gingy. That's what's going to happen.
Aaron Rodgers down the left side. Just streaking.
Who's throwing the ball?
On a go route, huh? Oh, wow.
I think Darnell Washington's a big dude. He could probably heave that ball down there a little bit.
Oh, my goodness. Darnell to Aaron Rodgers. If we see that by the end of the season, God bless you.
I guarantee you we ain't seeing that by the end of the season.
You're going to get discount double check forever. That stuff goes on. That's what I'm talking about. That's the way to make it work. All right. Any closing thoughts from you guys about this Dolphins game that really, once the Steelers got going in the end of the second quarter, really felt like a dominant win? Any closing thoughts from you two?
I don't want to see Aaron Rodgers running down the field. That's my closing thoughts.
Swear I see us being able to be at when offense and defense are running on the same page. Complementary football.
Yeah. Any other thoughts from this week in the NFL that caught your eyes?
I don't know. Are the Houston Texans good now?
They can beat bad football teams. And they have... The thing is, with the Texans, Gingy, is they probably have the best defense in the NFL, them or the Broncos, right? Those two have the best defense. If their offense just doesn't turn the ball over, both of those teams are scary if their offense doesn't turn the ball over. That's simply what it comes down to. If their offense doesn't put their defense in a bad spot, it's hard to move the ball 60 yards against those defenses.
Yeah, watch out. I don't want to see them getting hot in December.
No. Although if them and the Jaguars both went out, maybe we'll get to play one of those two instead of the damn freaking Bills. Just full saying. I don't want to play Bills. Lasker.
I don't want to play the Bills either. And that's about all I got to say.
All right. Yeah, I don't think there's any crazy things that happened in the NFL last week for me. Although the New Orleans Saints taking down both of the top teams the last 2 weeks in the NFC South was quite funny to me. I think they beat both Tampa Bay and the Panthers because apparently no one wants to win the NFC South. I have no idea what the heck's going on there. Just a bunch of utter shenanigans. Or crazy comeback on the Thursday night game after I turned the game off for the Seahawks, Gingy.
Crazy game. Very entertaining game. Home team on Thursdays.
Dude, Kenneth Walker, how the heck, in a world where Najee Harris was a first-round draft pick, how the heck did Kenneth Walker fall as far as he did in the NFL draft? That dude's a monster. He's big, fast, and
this week.
That is this week. That's fine. Prior to the show, Laskers, don't you? What was the other Thursday night? The other Thursday night was an entertaining comeback.
It was Falcons.
Atlanta beating
Buccaneers.
Tampa Bay. Yeah, on a heck of a comeback there at the end because no one wants to win the NFC South. All right, I guess that means we are ready to move on to Detroit.
Motor City.
Steelers all-time 17-14-2 against the Detroit Lions. And I actually have a funny stat about those ties that's going to come up here in a second. At Detroit, the Steelers are 6-12. The biggest win was by Detroit by 42 in 1983, 45-3. Pittsburgh won by 33 in 2001, 47-14. The longest streak. Both teams have a 5-game winning streak. Detroit from 1950 to 56, Pittsburgh from 2001 to 2017. But both 5 games winning streaks were ended by a frickin' tie. Both times either team won 5 straight games, a tie was the game to follow. Of course, there is no current holder of a streak, as the last time we played was the overtime tie, 16-16 to Detroit in 2021. Detroit, a good team, but Gingy, we haven't lost to the Lions in this millennia. That's got to mean something, right?
I'm not sure that really means that much to me, Donkey.
And as a matter of fact, Gingy, do you know the last time we lost to Detroit, what that game was?
I do not.
Do you remember a game where Jerome Bettis said something?
The Thanksgiving game.
You remember how coin toss rules had to get changed?
I
should have let Lasker's guess there too. Lasker's, I'm sorry. I should have let you guess. I do apologize.
Mine was playoffs, so it's okay.
That would have been a Super Bowl, Lasker's.
No, you're right. It would have been.
Those poor Lions don't get a play in the Super Bowl. It's just not allowed, even with Barry Sanders. But yeah, Thanksgiving game, last time we lost to Detroit. Now, this Detroit team, really good at running the football. Jared Goff, when he's good, he doesn't turn the ball over. Amon-Ra St. Brown's a monster. I believe Hawkinson's healthy, but I don't know. That dude's hurt every other week. But he's a great tight end in there. Williams is an absolute burner on the outside. But their offensive line has been a little bit hurt. That slowed down both Montgomery and Gibbs. And Gingy, I'm not sure there's a better skill player the last 3 years than Gibbs. I mean, Saquon's probably in that talk, and maybe if Derrick Henry ends it hard, he's in that talk. But in terms of all-around play, I don't know if there's a better one than Gibbs in terms of running backs out there catching or running the football.
Extremely explosive, can take it to the house on any play where he's got the rock.
Now, Laskers, we go to the flip side. Detroit's defense predicated on, pressure a little bit. They try to force some turnovers. They're not exactly great at anything, but Aiden Hutchinson is an absolute monster who can take over a football game.
Oh, he definitely is. And by the way, Hawkins is playing. He's not on the injury report for this week.
Okay, I wasn't sure, but that dude's like every other week on the injury report, so I just thought I'd throw that name out there because I was like, he's hurt 80% of the time. The other 20% he's dominating someone.
They do have 2 guys out and 5 guys questionable.
Yeah, Kirby Joseph should be missing the game. One of their best playmakers out there. I think he leads the team in interceptions out there. He's an absolute stud on the back end at safety. You look at some, I don't know, who are the other names missing there, Lasker? See if any of them ring the bell for me.
Giannovi. God, that's not how you pronounce that. Manu. Tristan Colon. Taylor Decker. Graham Glasso.
And Branch is out for the season as well, right? So they're missing both their safeties because I think Branch is on IR, if I recall correctly.
I can't see that on the injury report.
I believe Pitboy Avonte Maddox has been starting back there in the secondary. He's a guy who has some playability. A guy like Arthur Millette is out there getting some playing time now. Should be a name familiar to the Steelers. But you look at this team, I mean, you're talking their starting corners are guys like Rock Yassin. Now, DJ Reed's a guy who can play a little bit. Rock Yassin, he's a guy who gives up a lot of big plays. Maybe Steelers can take advantage down the field. But they got some sure tacklers. Jack Campbell, Alex Anzalone. These guys who maybe were a little bit slow coming out of college have come here and really found a home in the system Detroit runs. Of course, sacks. You talk Aiden Hutchinson, Al-Quadin Muhammad, I believe he's having a hell of a year out there too. But after those two, it's really not a whole heck of a lot, Gingy, to look at defensively. There's star power, and there's some guys who are playing above their punching level, like the Robert Spillane type of guys, right? Playing above what you consider their skill level. But there's a lot of areas to be exploited on this Detroit defense.
Another opportunity for big DK Metcalf to come up this week and show us what he can do. He showed us on Monday night again. Put not a huge, overwhelming numbers game, but put up a big play and a big touchdown on the board, and that's what we want to see from him.
Oh, and I said the wrong name for their tight end anyway. Hawkinson now plays for Minnesota. Their tight end is Sam Laporta, and he's on IR. So, yeah, he's not playing this week. Laskers, I don't know why I said Hawkinson. He used to be in Detroit, but he went to Minnesota, I guess. Or maybe he didn't, and I just always put him on the wrong team. That's probably more likely. And then if you look at if you want to see the injuries of injuries, Laskers, you just look at Detroit's offensive line missing Mahogany, like you said earlier, Jamarco Jones, Glasnow's injured, Decker's possible, Cologne's possibly missing. Like, they were trying to sign.
They got no center, is what it looks like.
That's what I was going to say.
Me.
They were trying to bring back their retired center, but then he was injured and failed the physical, so they couldn't bring him back. But Gingy, maybe the part we should talk about is they still have Penny Sewell, and that dude is a monster out there at right tackle.
Yeah, absolutely. Going to be important for our pass rushers to be able to try to get home, especially in light of the injuries that was aforementioned here.
Man, I can't talking about the wrong tight end the whole time. That was a really good job by me up there. But yeah, when you look at the Detroit secondary, this is the list of their starters who are currently missing this game or on IR. You have Brian Branch, Kirby Joseph, Terrion Arnold. I mean, that many injuries in the secondary, Gingy. It has to be a game where the Steelers take advantage. And maybe this isn't the best game for tight ends. Maybe this is the game to start running some 3 receiver sets. Maybe this is the game to once again elevate Roman Wilson, who's shown the ability to get open. Because I'm gonna level with you here. And last year I'm gonna put this one to you actually. I'm gonna level with you here. Adam Thielen's not the answer. Maybe he proves me wrong, but he does not look like he can create separation right now.
No, he doesn't. 7 yards last week. He has no separation.
I mean,
he can catch a ball.
I'm not against Valdez.
The one ball that was thrown at him, he caught it.
He is still sure-handed without a doubt. But man, you put him out there to take snaps, that means you're taking snaps away from guys who've shown the ability to make big plays recently, right? Calvin Austin III, Roman Wilson has shown the ability to get separation. Hasn't quite connected yet, but we've seen separation there. Valdez-Scantling last week showed separation to catch the 19-yard touchdown, right? I think the Steelers really need to stop going with we like this guy's consistency, and this is a week. You know Detroit's going to go for it. You know Detroit's going to try to put up points. This is the week for the Steelers to show they can hang in a game like that. And I think in order to do that, Laskers, you need to put forward your most explosive players.
Oh, 100%. We can't be putting a guy that's slow and can't get open.
No, I don't think that's the game for this at all. Gingy, Laskers, any thoughts from you two before we get to some cash or trash?
Let's hear it.
I got nothing.
All right. We're going to start defensively this week, and I'm going to start with Gingy. Gingy, I know there's a lot of injuries, but you know what? There's a lot of injuries on their front and our front. The Steelers' backups are going to show something this week, and we're going to sack Jared Goff at least 4 times, cash or trash.
Cash it in. Steelers starters are going to show some things. What about Cam Hayward having a big week?
I'd love to see that. I'd love to see that. He might be the only, I guess Highsmith. Him and Highsmith might be the only down lineman pass rushers that are legit starters starting this week. I guess Benton should be healthy, right? So maybe I'm just
he had a limited practice, but
of course he did, because he's a defensive lineman and they're all hurt this year. All right, Laskers,
he has an ankle injury, potential ankle injury.
All right, Laskers, let's go to you. We will hold Detroit's running backs under 100 yards rushing this week. Cash or trash?
Oh boy.
Yeah, I like that one too.
I don't know what to say on this one. Push 100 yards.
You think they're going to get exactly 100 yards? I like that.
Wow, good.
I'm done with
That's
that. I'll
epic.
give you 5 yards on either side too. I'll give you
That'd
that
be like
for
a
your
perfect
push.
bid on Price is Right.
Yeah, it would. He spun it right to the dollar, Gingy. All right, Gingy, let's continue. Defensive side of the ball. Splash is the name of the game. The Steelers force 2 or more turnovers, cash or trash.
Oh my goodness! What do you think I'm gonna say when you ask Gingy to splash question?
Cash, unless it's about Minka
Cash.
Fitzpatrick. Then we pass. Trash.
Cash that in, donkey.
I like to hear that. Laskers, after an absolute shutdown of Jaden Waddle, the Steelers double down and hold Amon-Ra St. Brown under 60 yards. Cash or trash?
Trash that.
Fair
enough. I think he's just too good.
Yeah, I can't say that I disagree. Gingy, I think Detroit's going to go for it a lot. Can the Steelers hold Detroit under 50% conversion rate on 4th down? Cash or trash?
Ooh. That's a tough one. I got to consider how many times they might go for it.
Gingy, just think about the Colts game.
Ooh. Under 50%, trash.
Oh. All right. Well, you know
what?
We can go on. We can go to offense. Laskers, Aaron Rodgers throws for over 300 yards in the dome. Cash or trash?
I'm going to trash that. I haven't seen that he can do that.
300 is a big number.
I haven't seen him be able to do it.
All right, the Laskers isn't high on the passing game. Gingy, are you high on the running game? The Steelers run for over 125 yards. Cash or trash?
Cash it in.
I can respect that.
Do.
We're going to get the running game going. Laskers, last week, running backs, tight ends, out yardage wide receivers. That's going to happen again. Cash or trash, wide receivers being outperformed by tight ends and running backs in receiving yards.
The way things are going, I'm going to cash that in. I don't like it, but I'm going to cash it in.
Gingy, 4 tush pushes last week, 3 successful. This week, the Steelers will be successful with every tush push they try. Cash or trash?
I'd prefer, honestly, if we model after the Steelers radio network. This is the Steel City Shove.
Okay, fine. Steel City Shove. All right.
The tush push. Just can retire that phrase.
Can we just call it the passive Rodgers? Are the Steelers going to be successful on the passive Rodgers? Cash or trash?
Cash it in, baby.
I don't like Steel City Shove, so I'll call it the passive Rodgers, and that's what it'll be known on the Viking. No, what do we call this? The Donk Nation show? Daily Dose of Donkey and Ginger. God bless it, I couldn't think of the show name.
What show are we doing?
What is this again? Who am I? What's my name? I feel like Blink 182 over here, man. What's my name?
What's my age again?
Oh, that's right. It's age. Jesus, my brain is gone. This has gone off the rails. Laskers, we're finishing it with you. We're finishing it with the offense right here, right now. The Steelers will score touchdowns on half of their drives in this football game. Cash or trash?
Ooh, boy. I'm going to trash that one.
Oh, that makes me sad. We've pretty much given you a take of how I feel this game is going to go, right? I feel the Steelers' defense has to limit the big players from big plays, and the Steelers' offense needs to put up points in bunches. Need to take advantage of the injuries that are there in Detroit and limit the stardom, right? Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jahmyr Gibbs, Aiden Hutchinson. Those guys cannot have premier games, and I think the Steelers have a decent chance if they can limit that and Aaron can play clean football. Gingy, how are you feeling about this game?
Just like you said, Donkey, especially how you ended off there, clean football. That was really the biggest predicate to last week's success, and we need to see that again. Excuse me.
Laskers, I know it's been killing you the last 5 games because the offense hasn't been all Boswell, but how do you feel this game's going?
I'm honestly hoping it's still not all Boswell. I mean, when we have to depend on Boswell, we're not going to win. We're not. We need some other help. No, but
How dare you
Boswell's.
attack? You just attacked our whole offense for the last 4 years, Laskers. Literally, that guy has carried this team.
Oh, I know he has,
4
but we can't depend on him to win big games, and this is a big game.
That's fair. Yeah, it is. It's a big game for both the Steelers in terms of still controlling. I mean, really, all we have to do pretty much now is beat Baltimore again, right? I think we have to win one more. No, we beat the Dolphins.
Even the Browns. We need to beat the Browns.
No, we have to beat Baltimore because if Baltimore beats us and wins out, they win the division. The only game that matters is the Baltimore game for us remaining. Let's be honest here. Because we beat the Dolphins, it'll go down to that Baltimore game. If we beat Baltimore, we're guaranteed division chance.
If Baltimore wins.
If they win. Yeah, of course, we can win it without Baltimore game mattering. But right now, that is the only game that matters. Until Baltimore loses or we lose, it doesn't matter.
They got New England.
Yeah, they do. They have to make a run at it. But until that happens, Gingy, until they slip, I'm going to look at it this way. Only the Baltimore game matters. So to me, this game, you need to stay injury-free. We need to move on. We need to get it going. We need to... Man, we need to keep this haven't lost in the millennium streak alive.
Keep the defense, or keep the December streak alive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but preferably a good one this time, not the other one.
No, whoa, don't. What other streak? This one right here.
Yeah. What other one? Steelers don't have any December type streaks at all. No. All right. Any closing thoughts for you two here about this game? What you want to see? What you need to see? Who you think is going to be awesome before we get to picks, or you want to go straight to picks?
I'm not giving away any X factors or nothing. I don't know. I want to see
two evenly matched teams.
I'd really like to see that. It would be a la 05-esque to have a mid-team win out in December and go on a strong run in a very open AFC.
That would be awesome to see. Be awesome to see the Steelers there. Laskers, anything from you?
Well, Gingy kind of stole what I said, but we need to win out. We went out and then we continue that in January. And, hey, if we win out, we ain't going to have to play the Bills till the championship game.
Hey, if we win out, we win a Super Bowl. Just saying. And that's how that always works. So I like that.
That's true. That is true.
I like that.
Sometimes works.
All right, let's get to picks then. We have the Bongals coming off laying an egg, going to the Dolphins coming off laying an egg. Quinn Ewers, first NFL start. Give me the Bengals. Laskers.
Give me a second. I gotta go. Who the hell are they playing?
Bengals going to Miami.
Dolphins.
Yeah.
Give me the Bengals.
Yep. 3 for 3.
We got Buffalo going to the Clowns. I like the Bills here. Laskers?
Yeah, I like the Bills.
Gingy?
Yep, Bills.
All right, then we have New England going to Baltimore. Oh, man. I feel like that letdown from New England continues, and I feel like Baltimore plays like they have something they need to get done. I kind of like the Ravens here, Gingy.
Wouldn't it just be the way, right?
Sunday night football game, by the way. Curious.
Wouldn't it just be the way for this all to just come down for the Ravens and the Steelers last game of the season?
Mm-hmm. It has to matter. It's the way it is. It always has to matter.
Until it doesn't go that way, right? I have to pick the Ravens.
Fair. Laskers.
I'm going against you two and give me the Patriots. I think the Patriots are pissed off. I think they're a good team. I think they're a good team.
Want to buy?
So you got to go with the Patriots.
It's a respectable call.
I like that. Then we have, of course, the Steelers going to Detroit. A 4:00 start time for your Pittsburgh Steelers. Laskers, give me a team, give me a score, and give me an X factor.
I gotta think about the X factor. Give me the Steelers 21.
Low score for the Steelers.
And I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring game. Yeah, think about the other team. What am I going to go with?
18.
That's actually what I was thinking. All right, I'm going Lions 18. And give me an X factor of Gainwell. 2 touchdowns.
Oh, whoa.
2 all-purpose touchdowns. I'm not picking run or pass.
In the air. Let's see.
Gingy, who you like?
Gingy's locked in on 24-21 Pittsburgh Steelers. Give me X factors of Pat Freiermuth in the red zone and Chris Boswell at the end of the game.
Gingy stole my X factor.
I do that.
You normally steal my shout out, but he stole my X factor this
Probably
time.
going to do that too.
All right. I like the Steelers 33, the Lions 32, because this time this haunting image of Pat Freiermuth fumbling the football, so we have to tie a frickin' football game at the end, which I don't know if it would have mattered anyway, but that's still stuck in my head. It's going to get out of my head as Freiermuth is not only going to catch the touchdown at the end of the game, but Mike Tomlin's going to go for 2, and Pat Freiermuth's going to catch that damn ball too, Gingy. I tell you what. And the Steelers are going to win by being an aggressive football team. Do I believe it? I don't know, but I'm going to speak it into existence. I guess that means it's time for us to go to some shout-outs. Gingy, I'll let you go. Let's see if you do steal mine.
Shout out. Of course, we're going to welcome somebody in with a big turnover. Welcome. Shout out to Asante Samuel Jr. Here we go.
All right, I'm safe through 1. Laskers, you're up.
I got 2 shout-outs, but one's a baseball one. I got to shout out Gainwell.
Hell of a
That's
game.
freaking awesome being the person with the most yards last week. You have shown up, and let's keep seeing that. And my second shout-out is Brandon Lau. Thank you for being a Rays player, and I hope you the best with the Pirates. I'm a closet Pirates fan, so I can't wait to see what you can do.
He best hit 40 home runs as a Pirate, and the Rays also gave me the favorite player on the Rays last year. Magnum's coming in that trade too.
I know. Yeah, I know you do. But
that kid's
Brandon Lau is my favorite player.
Yeah, 2 times. Both times All-Stars were with the Rays, right? He's only played really there.
He's only played with the Rays.
All right, I got a 2-part shout out as well. But the first one is who I really want to give it to. MVS, Valdez-Scantling, finally shows up, finally shows that chemistry with Rodgers for a touchdown play. Let's hope that continues. Those guys have done that so much through their careers. I'd love to see it continue and start getting hot right now in Pittsburgh. And, of course, you have to shout out guys like Jonnu Smith and Jalen Ramsey. The team that just traded you that offseason, you get to go out there and you get to perform and make them look kind of silly for letting you go. I love to see that. That's the type of stuff I like to see. And that's the type of stuff we like to talk about here on your Daily Dose of Donkey with Ginger. I do remember the title this time. Be sure to find me. I'm Viking Donkey. That's Viking_Donkey on Twitch and Twitter. And leave us a comment on this awesome channel. Let us know what you like to hear. Let us know if you like these segments the way we're doing them now, kind of breaking down the recap as good, bad, ugly, great, and breaking down the upcoming game with our cash or trash. Laskers, let them know.
I'm Laskers everywhere. If you can't figure out how to spell that, well, then I guess you're in trouble. Gingy to you.
Mutant Gingy in the house. We're hanging out, talking football, talking Steelers. It's December. It's cold. Motor City matchup, folks. Here we go. Let's go on a run. Here we go, Steelers. Wave them if you got them.